A story in the Bible in the New Testament where someone comes to Jesus and they have a seed in their hand. And they have a seed and they ask Jesus, what kind of seed is this? And Jesus says to them, it's a metaphor, it's a symbolic story. And so they said to Jesus, this is the seed we found. What kind of a seed is it? And he said, why don't you plant the thing? Why don't you plant it in the earth, water it, and watch what grows? And if an apple tree grows up, well, then I guess that's what it was an apple seed, arrowhead. But if a pear tree grows up, I guess it was a pear seed. Does that make any sense to you? Instead of me guessing what kind of a seed it is, plant the thing and water it. Let's see what comes up. Because there's no better way to tell what kind of a seed it is when it grows. You'll find out what it is. If it's got oranges on it, I guess it was an orange seed. Does that make any sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. So therefore, Jesus went on to say, the Bible says, Jesus went on to say, by their fruits you shall know them. Therefore, as you go through life, don't listen to what people tell you. Look at what they do. By their fruits you shall know them. They will tell you, oh, I just love the Lord Jesus, oh, I'm this, and oh, I'm holy, and oh, I go to church. How do I hear all that stuff? What are you really doing? What are you really? Who are you really? What are you really doing? All that drinking on the weekend and screwing around with your neighbor's wife and messing around in government and cheating people and treating people like crap. I mean, really, who are you really? I know all that stuff you tell me about how holy you are and the church you go to and all that. But who are you really? Because by their fruits, you will know them. The story in the Bible, the story of Jesus in the New Testament, can be boiled down to, and believe me, it's going to take about 4 hours for me to lay out all of the proof of what I'm saying. Because I can prove every word I'm saying. But let me give you the bottom line. And then don't hang up on me. Just listen. Because immediately, most people go, oh, that's a bunch of bull. I don't want to hear this. Well, then you will miss something. The bottom line on Christianity, the teachings of Christ, and the teaching of and the whole story about Jesus in the New Testament is actually very simple. It was so simple, no one saw it. Because it's right there in front of you. The bottom line story and the New Testament story of Jesus is this: a war between light and darkness.
Simple.
That's it.
Night and day.
That's exactly right.
Day and night.
That's right. A war between light and darkness. There are 12 hours of light in which man is happy because he can rule the world and he can grow plants and he can be in charge of the earth and he can build buildings and he can do wonderful things because it's warm out and the weather is nice and it's very warm and he's in charge. He can see everything because his eyes are fixed to see things in the light. So he's learning great things, doing great things, having them all being human in the light. But when it gets dark, it gets cold and freezing cold at night. The boogeyman comes out. All these demons and devils and all these evil things come out at night. The boogeyman's going to get you. We're scared of the dark as children. So there's always been a war. The ancient peoples, thousands and thousands of years before the Roman Empire ever existed. Thousands of years before even the Grecian Empire existed. The ancient peoples of the world realized there's a war going on in heaven between light and darkness. So you have 12 hours of light. Thank God we got light, we got warmth, we got the sunlight, and everything is wonderful because we're in control. Humans are in control. But at night is when the predator animals come out. That's when the lions come out to eat. That's when the animals come out, all the predator animals around the world, the dogs, the animals, and the animals on the Serengeti plains of Africa, the animals come out at night and they're coming out to eat. So therefore, during the daytime when it's nice and warm out, the sunlight, you might want to start building a house and building a fire, because at 6:30 the sun's going down and the animals are coming out to eat. So if you want to protect your wife and your children, you better build something around you tonight, because the lions are coming out tonight. The animals are coming out. So you better prepare yourself for the prince of darkness. And so therefore, there's a war on the earth between light and darkness, between wonderful light of life and the horrible darkness of the prince of darkness. And so there's a war going on between light and darkness. That's the basis for the New Testament story of Jesus. Now, Jesus in the story represents a metaphor. In this understanding, Jesus is not an actual man who actually lived